So on the 2016 GMC Acadia Denali, this is pretty much going to be for quite a few years after, and I think a year or two before. The rear bumper sensors are located right here, the rear quarter panel, and exact same spot right here, right up in this spot. You can get to these without taking a bumper off. There's videos out there. I know one gentleman, he disconnected the whole bumper, had to pull the bumper out to get to the sensors. These don't need to be pulled off, the bumper. These will slide right out. I'll show you where they're at. Ugh. Let me turn my light on. Okay, can't turn the light on. Let me get my flashlight. I'll show you exactly where they're at. In the meantime, so I disconnected mine, took the sensors out, turned the car on to see if I would still get any warnings, and I have no blindside warnings whatsoever. Alright, so try to get up here so you can see. Not a good spot. So anyway, so right there's where it's at. It points right towards the tire. Not hard to get to. On both of mine, I could not disconnect the wire harness from the sensor, but I was still able to pull the sensor out. There's a little connection just where, just to the back left where my light is shining, where it pulls out from the bracket that holds the sensor. I did break that off to pull it out. Not a big deal. It's not going to hurt anything. And then I just wire tied the harness inside. Now what I did do was, my wire harness is still good. The connection, both connections didn't have any green corroding on them. So I simply just took Gorilla tape and put one piece over the sensor, rubbed it until it got really hot, so the glue stuck to the sensor cable, to the connector, and then I just wrapped the crap out of it in Gorilla tape so there would be no water intrusion, and then simply just tied it, zip tied it to the bracket. My problem that I had was these got so bad that they were always staying on even with the keys out of the car. So I'd come out the next day and my battery would be dead. On pulling these out, these were really warm, so they were still drawing a connection even when they're not supposed to. You can see how that one's swollen right there. But I mean, looking at the connection, there's no green. They're nice and clean, so I didn't have to worry about, eventually if I get these replaced, I don't have to worry about doing the whole harness. And if you go to a dealership, look at your connections. If you don't see any green corrosion on the pins or the plug, you make sure you tell them you only want the sensors replaced. And if you get these out, bring these in with you to show them that you do not have to take the bumper off. You don't want them charging you 2-3 hours to remove a bumper when removing the bumper is not necessary. Now I do realize on some of the vehicles, I'm not sure which years, instead of these being like this, they're sitting more like this. from my understanding, are a little harder to get out. But I didn't have, it took me probably 45 minutes to get these out. And I don't intend on putting them back in. Maybe eventually I will. But, you know, what I will probably do, I mean, if you're going to do this, if you can get these out, go ahead, let the dealer replace these. And then get some epoxy or whatever and seal the living piss out of where the white and the black matches. Seal all this up, because this is where the water intrusion, you know, is getting. Because you can see, I mean, there's no corrosion in here. If I'm getting water through this part of it, I would have corrosion all over these pins, and there's no green, no corrosion, nothing. I've seen a couple recommendations online to pack in here with dielectric grease. It's not going to hurt anything. I would do it just to safeguard them. But if and when I do get these replaced, I'm going to seal all these little areas up. And then on the connection itself, I'm probably going to wrap the crap out of it in Gorilla Tape, just to keep the water out. And may even put these in Ziploc bags, the thick ones, the gallon ones, probably maybe 2-3 bags at a time. Zip it closed up to where the harness is at, and then use Gorilla Tape over that. Don't use normal duct tape; it doesn't work. You want something like Gorilla Tape, because at least you're guaranteed for a long time. You're not gonna have a problem with these. Sealing these edges is the best bet. That's where your water's getting in. So I have seen videos where people did have green on their pins. So like I said, if you can get these out, then when they replace these, you can get them out again and disconnect them one at a time. You don't want to get these confused, because they both look exactly the same, but one is for the right, one is for the left. I don't know if they're interchangeable. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. I don't know, but I would only do one at a time. You cannot go to AutoZone or online eBay and just buy these and put them in. These have to be programmed. So you go through the trouble putting these back in your bumper. They're not going to be any good, because they have to be programmed. That's where they're getting you on the other $600-700, is for a programming that takes, I've seen online, it takes literally under a minute to program these, but they're going to charge you an arm and a leg just to program them. You might even be able to get away with getting these. The ones I've seen are back ordered, because they're being replaced all the time. Get a couple of these, take them to your dealership, and just have them reprogram them at the dealership, rather than pay to have everything done I just did. You're going to pay a couple $100 an hour for them to take these out, and chances are they're not going to listen to you. They're going to take the bumper off, and that's just going to be more time, more effort. So if you can do this yourself, go ahead and do it. It's not hard to get them out. The hardest part is actually finding these for your make, model, and year. And I don't know if I don't know the years of how, for these to be good. I don't know if it's from 2014 to 2019 they used only these, or did they change over in 2018, they went with a different one. I tried even looking up these numbers online, couldn't find nothing. I tried scanning this and I get nothing, but this is on both of them. So I would have to say, possibly you can use either or for left or right. I'm not sure. As I said, you look at these, the numbers are, let me see here. Okay, the numbers are a little different. So you got 1794 on this one and 1869 on that one. So maybe there is a difference between left and right. So yeah, so if you have any questions, just hit me up. I've pretty much gone over everything I've done. If, like I said, these go bad, there's a good chance they'll short out inside, and they will be parasitic on your battery. You turn your keys off, and I literally turned mine off at 9 o'clock at night. I came back out the next day to turn my car on at 10 o'clock, and my voltage was down to 8. So, and this is the second time I'm having to charge the battery up to get it to 12.4 volts. And yeah, so if you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks.